What is combat width in Hearts of Iron 4? Combat width is the space your divisions take up in a battle. Each terrain type has its own combat width. The combat width numbers are based off of the defending tile. Each battalion adds combat width to that division. They can be 1, 2, or 3. Support companies do not add additional combat width. When attacking from more than one tile, you will add a reinforce width equal to 1/2 or 1/3 of the defending tile's combat width. This again is based off of the terrain type. Note, reinforcement width is different from reinforcement rate. Divisions will fill up the battle until the used combat width is fulfilled or exceeds the combat width of the battle, and remaining divisions will be put into reserves. If you exceed the combat width of a battle, your reserves will have a 0% chance of reinforcement. In addition to this, when you exceed combat width in a battle, you take a penalty to attack and breakthrough if attacking, and attack and defense if defending. This penalty is 1.5 per percent of exceeded combat width, down to -35%. In practice, however, this number is often between 10 and 20%. So I recommend that you don't overstack your provinces when defending, and that you periodically check your battles and hold any units if they're exceeding the width when advancing. The Mass Assault Doctrine includes a tech that reduces combat width for infantry, although keep in mind reducing combat width alone may not be worth taking this doctrine. Okay, so what's the best combat width for divisions? It used to be 10, 20, 40. What is it now? Well, there's been a lot of debate around this, but the answer has been in front of us the entire time. There isn't one number, but multiple. It is the terrain type reinforcement width, or some divisor of that number, which would look like this. If you want a general purpose, perfect combat width, well, there isn't one. Breaking this meta was the entire point of the changes to combat width. The closest thing now is 21 or 42, which will be good enough for deserts, plains, jungles, and forest. And if you want to include hills, the best combat width is 10, 20, 40. Honestly, the old meta is still kind of okay if you don't plan to micro every terrain type throughout your games. Just don't overstack tiles. Stay within the base combat width and it'll be fine. Really, you should treat these changes as a nerf to your old templates in exchange for some new specialized bonuses. For example, there's no reason not to make 25 width mountaineers. Or if you have some special scenario where you need to hold an urban tile, build some 32 width defensive units. You now have more options to eke out that little advantage over your enemy.